come to Victoria in London, and I am looking for the Microsoft offices, and I'm going to be chairing a roundtable discussion there today about project management in the collaborative age and the things that are making our new ways of working and the ways that we're doing project management change, like globalisation, virtual teams and things like that. So I think that would be quite interesting to hear what the practitioners who are coming are saying about how their working life is changing, if indeed it is. And also we've got some software suppliers who are coming as well, so it'll be interesting to see what they think the future of technology and the tools are. So I'm going to go off and find where I'm supposed to be now. This pointy building here is the Microsoft office on Victoria Street. So I'm about to go in and meet the people from Project Magazine who are hosting the roundtable today.
Small and nice city.
Yeah.
So I think
it is to a wider audience. So it's not necessarily about finding a common format for things. You know, I guess coming back to the point earlier where there are a lot of formats and we're not necessarily sure whether it's Facebook, it's Twitter, it's blogs, it's this, that, the other, but allowing people to be able to bring whatever it is that they want to do, or however this project is going to be managed, whether it's very rigorously or whether it's much more open and fluid, to bring people together to share information and ideas.
So I think very much our approach is that we believe in opening up, allowing people to see the overall progress of the whole project, to actually their customers to invite their stakeholders. Because if the stakeholders is involved in the project and can see the progress, then there are no surprises. Then you can handle issues before they turn into massive proportions. A lot of
so much information out there, and getting the right bit of information with the right context, which is where sometimes it needs.
And that's where face-to-face can often, I mean the number of problems I've seen just in the last couple of months with misunderstood emails or any electronic message without that context is seeing one. I've been bitten too many times. I'm always
if we're seeing that the step change, I mean, this all comes back to communicating with stakeholders, and yes, okay, that does mean that we'll have to have difficult conversations with sponsors and senior execs in organisations to try and bring these collaboration ideas to the forefront, and maybe we're not empowered enough to be able to make the decision to go out and buy new tools or design new ways of displaying information, but we can at least be aware that it's happening and ask the right questions.
Or we need to do this, and it's really slow, as often these kind of integration projects are really expensive and time consuming, and there's so many IT projects that fail and they have bad reputation. So I think there's still lots of work to be done, and meanwhile there needs to be the right tools to enable project managers to go on. We can't wait for the perfect world to arrive.
That's a good point. On the question of the right tools, I'm just interested in the views from the project managers around the table. What do you think of the tools that are available at the moment? Do you think they're up to the job? Do you think they are the right tools? And also from the software providers, are project managers really maximising those tools? Do they really understand the capability and the potential that's at their fingertips?
I don't think, personally I would think, I know, I understand sort of technology and things, but when you sort of listening to you guys, I'm realising straight away there's opportunities there that I don't even know about in terms of collaborative tools. And I've worked all my career in sort of traditional engineering type organisations, and email now, that's the sort of de facto standard for written communication. You get your person that might want to instant message with you, but virtually everyone wants to email, and the volume of email that you have to deal with, and sort of that you're sending out and receiving is just, I think, a sort of ridiculous sort of saturation point now, where you need to find better ways to get those messages across.
These too.
Yeah, what I'm seeing, and picking up on the PMO conversation in that context, I think is really interesting, because PMOs potentially have the challenge of being perceived as more of an administrative function. I think that is changing. Two of the organisations I'm working with at the moment, we're designing what does a global or enterprise PMO look like, and it's actually the antipathy of the admin piece. It's moving it to something that's much more value add in the strategic space, kind of almost sits as an adjunct to the chief exec's office, and it's kind of almost, dare I say, that space that the strategic director or the strategy director kind of sat in the old world way of looking at things. But one of the things that those organisations I see are doing is starting to look at actually what's the role and career path of the project management professional.
I'm back now from the project roundtable that was hosted by Project Magazine and Microsoft, and it was really quite an interesting way to spend the morning. We had suppliers there, software vendors from Improlity, Microsoft and Project Place, and we had practitioners, real project managers who are using these tools, and we talked a lot about collaboration and the problems that project managers have. So it was really, some quite interesting topics came out. I've just got a few notes here to share with you. One of the guys said that project management bleeds into a number of different tools, which I thought was really quite an important point as we're trying to match up different types of technology. Complexity then increases with everybody wanting to know what's going on at the same time, and again technology can help with that. As part of our collaboration challenge is to work out how we deal with the fact that we need to provide different information to different stakeholders at different moments in time. And that gives us a tension between control and collaboration. So we want to be able to share everything, or share what we can, but we also need to apply project controls. So there's the requirement for security, there's the requirement for audit trail, there's the requirement to not share confidential information with people who shouldn't see it. So we talked a lot actually about the tension between collaboration and control, and where the project manager's role was in improving transparency while still managing to keep control of what was going on in the organisation. So I think we generally concluded that technology is not the answer to some of the problems that we are facing as a discipline, but that it is there to help us deliver to the challenges that we've got, that we're currently facing, like globalisation, the requirement to be more green, virtual teams, distributed working, and the challenge of having 5 different generations working together in the workplace for the very first time. So technology is there to help us, but talking to the vendors, what we realised was that the tools are so far advanced and very few project managers are actually using the full functionality of the tool, partly because the tools have become very generic, or that's not really the right word, they've become feature rich, and project managers are perhaps picking and choosing what is relevant to their project on their environment. But from a vendor's perspective, they have to make a tool that suits all projects and all environments, and they're constantly getting feedback from customers as to what they want to see included in those products. So that was quite an interesting point. And yes, the conclusion we came to really is the technology is there to help us be the next generation of project leaders. We just have to get on and actually do it and step up. And we're being pushed in the direction of being able to want to embrace this new technology by a number of different forces, including the consumerisation of technology, of IT and gadgets. And so really we've got a way to go before we are these inspiring project leaders full of innovative ideas, really driving through change in our organisation. As a whole, I'm sure some people are already doing that now, and the role of the PMO in that is to become a strategic centre of excellence to support project managers in achieving all of those goals. So really quite a lot of stuff came out. We talked for 2 hours, and that's just a summary really of I think some of the key points. But yeah, quite an interesting day.